And we're back with another edition of Web Chat with the Mayor. This time, Ted Comiskey from Ingersoll. It's been a little while since we talked to you. You were away on a trip to, well, I don't know if you'd call it a trip, to Belgium.
It was like a sleepover. And that's about all it was. We took off to Brussels to be able to talk with the CAMI World Corporation. And the gentleman over there, Rudolph Colonnaise, was very receptive. Pretty well the discussion was, the meeting was to ask them to reconsider partnering up with Walker Environmental to build the landfill on the Carmouche site. Certainly, we were aware that they weren't going to jump up and down and say, "Yeah, we agree with you totally." But it was a good trip, and the trip was because of the information that went back and forth. The concerns that they have are our concerns, certainly, and I think that down the road, when push comes to shove on some very major decision making, I think that this could have a determining factor. You can't stop trying. You can't stop looking at every angle. This landfill is going to be unhealthy in every aspect down the road for all concerned. So the thing is that if we don't do everything we can today to prevent it from happening on the doorstep of the municipality of the town of Ingersoll, then we're not doing our job. And so full support of all the groups that everyone agreed with this trip that it was a needed trip. And I believe it was successful. Successful in the sense that we made them aware of many points that they weren't really solid on before. And I believe down the road it'll prove.
Not only that, but you got some national and international attention from this trip.
Well, that's certainly awareness, and I think mainly a lot of our all our direction in this since the landfill was proposed is that get the information out there, get awareness, have people totally aware of what's happening. And I think that this trip really triggered CBC and CTV and Global and Star and certainly a few papers in Belgium also. So it really did hit home and certainly brought it to the forefront, the seriousness of it, and brought to the forefront the fact that the County of Oxford does not want this landfill.
Now, another story coming out of Ingersoll that got a lot of national attention was the big investment into the CAMI plant.
Oh, isn't that fantastic? I think that it proves a couple of things, and that is that the workers at CAMI need to be praised. The quality of work that they are producing, I think, made this happen. And it is the workers that showed GM that this is the plant, showed GM that this is the product, and it has really, you look at any of the returns or anything that was necessary through GM, it wasn't the products coming out of Ingersoll. And I think it's the workers that did it. We're happy for GM that they are going in the direction they are. That certainly solidifies the plant for into the next decade, and certainly helps out Ingersoll in its future plans. Certainly the workers have certainly a relaxing moment to the sense where, hey, it's proven. The hard work they've done has proven out, and now they are pretty well guaranteed some work for down the road. The expansion to the plant is going to be a benefit. Not only that, they are going to be putting some dollars into supply manufacturers, and that's going to help the economy, etc. So it's a win-win-win all the way around, and we're very happy, and we thank GM Canada and certainly Steve Carlisle, the president, great gentleman, and comes across that he cares, certainly cares about the product, certainly cares about the company, and certainly cares about the people and the GM plant here in Ingersoll.
Wonderful. Now, it's not all fun and games over there in Ingersoll. You guys have been hard at work working on that budget. How has that been going?
Well, it's tough. It's a tough budget. We understand that we know that our neighbors are coming up with increases in the double digits. We know that some of them are going to be quite high, and we have been high in the past. And now it's time for us to kind of take a look seriously at where we are, what we have, and where we're going, and make sure that every dollar that the taxpayer puts into it is going to where it's supposed to be going. And right now we have to make sure we look after our infrastructure. We have to make sure we look after our asset management down the road, because things are going to have to be replaced. You have to have those reserves in place. I'm not letting any cats out of the bag. I imagine we'll be looking at a 2.5%, likely 2.5%, which is just slightly above cost of living. But I think that's a number that is certainly lower than a lot of people around here. But it's time to be able to bring our levy under control, and to get it into the perspective, and make sure that the dollars are going where they're going. So yes, it has been a long haul, and I think we have another evening on the 12th of March, which likely at that point in time we'll be able to solidify some thoughts and ideas, and get the budget forward.
Well, some good news on both fronts there is Alexandra Hospital was able to refocus and be able to find money, or a plan at least, to replace their own boiler system. So that must help the budget a little bit then. Well,
certainly it does. We were looking at a kind of a percent right there in the support to help the cause, and I understand where they come from, and they've got some good people on their board looking at their finances, and the government came through with the needed borrowing allowance for them, which made it capable for them to what they receive is to be able to borrow and to be able to pay that off in a time frame. And so at this point in time, they didn't need the extra dollar coming out of the town of Ingersoll or the county of Oxford, because the responsibility-wise and being responsible, they are able to manage it and understand the fact that down the road they may need us. And so that's where it comes. And it certainly, I appreciate that, because I really think that the building itself and the structure and whatnot, it has to be supported by our government. I mean, we understand that the hospital or the medical division is not a municipal burden. It is a province, and certainly extra dollars certainly that do come down from the federal to the province to us, and to the Lynn Group, and so really they have to be responsible. They have to be responsible for the capital. They have to be responsible for all the health care that capital and capital building provide.
Wonderful. And on Monday night, we get to go back to Council, 6 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about the Walker Road extension.
Right. This is extension in our subdivision in Ingersoll, the Walker Road extension. There is some concerns about it, and right now it's being dealt with or looked into by two developers that are within that subdivision. And so what's going to happen is that we're going to have to come up with a direction and we have to move forward. The road has to move forward. There has to be two accesses to the subdivision. And so we're hoping that the meeting on Monday night will kind of maybe solidify the direction that's going in, and maybe get things rolling and get things underway, and get the subdivision back up and running and building houses.
Wonderful. So once again, that's Monday night, 6 o'clock. Lots of great updates from Ingersoll this time around. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me, and listen in, or come on out to our council meeting. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, right. As fun as any council meeting can be, but certainly the town of Ingersoll has the open door with its council meetings. Come on out and listen in. And I mean, it's the hub of the earth. You should be there.
Wonderful. Thank you.